This morning on World News Now, breaking news. A violent earthquake off Japan's northeast coast has rocked the nation.
A tsunami warning is in effect for a large part of that country as well as other nations as well. Waves could top 30 feet or more. It is Friday, March 11th.
From ABC News, this is World News Now.
Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm Peggy Bunker.
And I'm Rob Nelson. A very busy news day ahead.
Incredible footage as we're seeing an earthquake that has rocked Japan. We're really watching the tsunamis now. You're looking at the file footage here of the quake. These are videos that we got a bit earlier. Initially reported as a 7.9 quake. It was upgraded to an 8.8 quake and 7.4 point aftershock that hit 30 minutes later. That is what triggered a tsunami that is really causing great devastation there.
And it's amazing, too. This is the second major quake to hit Japan in just a week. First, there were reports of a 13-foot tsunami, and now there are tsunami watches and warnings, not only for Japan, as you can imagine, but also Russia, Japan, the Philippines, Indonesia, Guam, and the U.S. state of Hawaii as well. So now this is evolving to an international event. Dramatic footage there. Homes and buildings literally just being washed away as tsunami, just literally a 13-foot tsunami, engulfs that country.
Take a look at this water damage here as you see it plowing over buildings. You see homes, businesses, cars absolutely being caught up in this flood. And we've all, of course, been familiar with the damage that a tsunami can cause. Right now, there is a warning about another tsunami that could hit. This one was 19 feet, and apparently there are more that could hit.
And right now we're getting information that this is the biggest earthquake since 1995. The biggest earthquake since 1995. It struck at about 2:46 Japan time, shortly after 1 a.m. Eastern time. Again, 8.8. That is a monster earthquake. Already word from Japanese officials that they're going to already in the process now of accepting foreign assistance because the scope of this is just going to be unbelievable. Let's take a listen now to NHK, the Japanese network, live coverage.
Over 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could reach between 6 and 10 meters. We're getting reports of several buildings on fire. We do not know in regards to the exact amount of damage at this time, but we are soon to get a report from Japan's meteorological agency. They're setting up to find out the extent of the damage. All transportation systems in Tokyo as well as northern Japan has been stopped. Airports closed in Tokyo, Haneda, as well as Narita Airport. A great earthquake has hit Japan. Magnitude 8.4 in northern Japan. Agency has been warning a tsunami ever since the quake, and tsunami has hit the Miyagi Sendai area as our live helicopter camera crew are up covering and showing you exactly what is going on at this time. Deputy Chief Cabinet Secretary Tetsuro Fukuyama told reporters on Friday that the governor of Miyagi Prefecture, where the earthquake has hit hardest, has asked the government to send self-defense force units to deal with the situation and aid the situation. Defense Ministry officials say self-defense force personnel are currently contacting local governments and related agency to assess the extent of the damage. Earlier, Prime Minister Naoto Kan and his cabinet ministers have gathered at the Prime Minister's office, where an emergency task force has been set up to respond to the earthquake. The task force will gather information on damage and prepare for more possible tsunamis. Japan's Foreign Minister Takeaki Matsumoto has ordered his officials to start preparing to accept foreign assistance. He has also told them to check on the safety of foreigners living here in Japan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. The Pacific Tsunami Warning Center has issued a tsunami warning not just for Japan, where a tsunami has already struck, and you can see some of the damages so far in Miyagi Prefecture, northern Japan, in the Sendai area, but also for Russia, Marcus Island, the Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan. For those of you who are just tuned in and living anywhere close to the coastal areas of Russia, Marcus Island, Northern Marianas, Guam, Wake Island, and Taiwan, please do not go near the waters. Move to higher ground as soon as possible. You're watching NHK World, and a major earthquake hit Japan Friday afternoon. This happened about an hour and 20 minutes ago. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4. The agency has issued a tsunami warning for Japan's Pacific coast. In northern Japan's Iwate Prefecture, tsunami waves of up to 4 meters were observed soon after the quake. The agency is warning that the tsunami could be between 6 and 10 meters. You're seeing some of the tsunami damage so far in Miyagi Prefecture, in the Sendai area, where some of the homes and farms have been flooded when the tsunami went upstream a river. According to the Transport Ministry, Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The airport had earlier closed all runways. Haneda International Airport has reopened 2 of its 4 runways. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. The Japan Road Traffic Information Center and police say expressways around Tokyo and northeastern Japan have been closed. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. According to Toshiba Elevator, it assumes that most elevators came to a halt in the region affected by the disaster. At the moment, the company has been collecting information about mechanical troubles. The industry minister's Nuclear and Industrial Safety Agency has put in place an emergency center for the earthquake. It'll collect information concerning damages caused by the earthquake to nuclear power plants around the country. For those of you who just tuned into NHK World, you're seeing live coverage of Miyagi Prefecture in the Sendai area where a tsunami has struck. A major earthquake hit Japan on Friday afternoon. Japan's meteorological agency says the quake measured magnitude 8.4.
So we are just watching an unbelievable disaster befalling Japan right now as we watch the aftershocks and also the effects of a tsunami hit parts of a rural area, also a part of a city area north of Tokyo in the country of Japan. Right now we are hearing them report on possible damages to actually nuclear power plants in that area. But as you see the tsunami waters just roll through the countryside there, taking out homes and boats and cars all along with it, you see the damage here is going to be unfolding in front of us for quite some time.
And it is staggering. Just consider this number, for example. The last big quake to strike Japan was back in 1995. That was a 6.8 magnitude quake. 6,000 people died in that disaster. This, right now, we're hearing various reports of 8.4 to 8.8, even to 8.9 magnitude quake on this one. So a much stronger quake than the one back in 1995. You can imagine, as Peggy said, the extent of the damage here. Literally, buildings in Tokyo just shook violently. People are being evacuated, and they're also issuing some dire warnings that if you're in the coastal areas, not of just Japan, but of also several other countries, to get to higher ground as fast as you can. Other tsunamis could likely be triggered by this massive quake. That's
right. And let's get some perspective on this. Of course, the tsunami that most people are familiar with hit in 2004, right after the Christmas holiday. And that was a 9.1 earthquake that triggered that enormous tsunami that cost so many people their lives. Now, looking at this right now, we're hearing reports of 8.9, so just slightly less than the 9.1 that caused that tsunami. You can imagine that really what we're looking at right now as we see this water roll ahead, what this could mean.
You know, it's staggering. And keep in mind, and this figure will always just, I think, blow my mind and most folks' mind, in that tsunami that you're speaking about from 2004, 200,000 plus people perished in that disaster, 200,000 plus. Obviously, details are still coming in and are scarce at this point as to what the extent of the damage and the death toll may be from this, but those other disasters do give you some perspective. And again, this is an international event as well. Warnings in Russia, the Philippines, Indonesia, Taiwan, Guam, and even the U.S. state of Hawaii, a major disaster in that part of the world on this Friday morning.
Well, once again, we are going to continue to bring you the latest details and also more live pictures there from Japan. So stay with us. We'll take a quick break and be right back.